Good morning again. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, and I just had to drive by this project that I did many years ago, and I see that there's some people living here. Hopefully I won't get anybody's driver's license plates or anything in the picture here, but this house used to be a tiny house, and it was a vacant lot, and now it's a living space that people are actually living in. And I was in charge of doing all of the electrical, and I also helped out with the plumbing and the HVAC, because all the permits were pulled under my license for this one. I was the general contractor there, and we had subbed some things out. I was partnered up with another gentleman named Marco, and he was the one who got the job for us. And when none of the contractors that we hired came back to take care of minor details, he withheld the money because he was in charge of, making sure the guys got paid. And, I get so much satisfaction having the opportunity to see that long after the money got spent, I continue to be of service to my fellow man. And there were so many little details I can tell you about this house. I mean, we had some drywall issues. We had to install a sub panel because Edison had some issues with the original design of the electrical system that I had over there. But it was, like I said, it's overwhelming sometimes, man. It just fills my heart with pride knowing that, I could participate in serving my fellow man to build things that would be of service, that would be of positive benefit for not just the customer, but for their families, guests, friends. And I don't know if I would have ever been able to get that in medicine. I know that in medicine, you run the risk of injuring and hurting people, and that's a great burden that I definitely understood and took very seriously, because I studied my butt off when I was in medical school to become a PA, a physician's assistant. But as it turns out, didn't make it through, and instead of being turned away, because my ultimate dream was to step by step go from being a PA to becoming a medical doctor, but I totally got turned away from that track. And at 60 years old, it just wouldn't make sense for me to get into medicine. In fact, I'm gonna be I think I'm making more money than a lot of doctors that I know that are like general family practice and some specialists, but it's at a point where I'm still on my way up. And I believe by my 65th birthday, everything that I'm working on, and I'm not talking about YouTube, I'm hoping to get some AdSense rocking and rolling real soon. But whether I make any money on YouTube or not, I've got things in the works to where $50,000 a month coming in, mailbox money, as a result of setting up my business affairs in a similar fashion that my business partner with the elevator has been able to do. And he's been able to do it to where 10 grand a month ain't enough. And he's struggling to keep that going, but he's no longer struggling to do that. We passed the point of that being an issue, but we're on track for $40,000 a month. And as much as the money's coming in, it's not going to be an issue of me like upgrading to a nicer car and all of this other kind of stuff. I love my Toyota. I got a Toyota Camry that I kind of customized, dressed up with TRD labels and logos and stuff. You guys might get a peek of the car sometime in some of the videos in the morning when I arrive. It's lit up pretty nice, man. In fact, I see A lot of car companies got a copying something that I established like 2 years ago, because I got this car about 2 years ago. It's a 2016 Toyota Camry. You know, guys see me on the freeway, they want to race because it looks like it could really get on down the road and all of that, but that's a whole nother issue, man. But long story short, rich people roll around in nice fancy cars because it doesn't cost them really anything to do it. I'd rather, at my age, not inflate my ego, roll around in a fancy car. I'd rather continue making this move of making all this money work to where $40,000 a month is nothing. And it's gonna get there, folks. And when I get there, you guys will see and know and understand. Talk to you soon. Peace.